level. And next week, we're going to have Dr. Wallach and all these people. And it's going to be produced better than the high budget hot shots that charge you from the outside. All because you people are so incredible. And I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for that, because it is us. It's not the hip, slick, and cool. It's us talking from our hearts, telling stories that win this. And you don't have to, and I am wearing, gee, many Christmas, I better stand up so you don't think I was naked when I was doing something with my coffee. But I have a sweater on, so I'm roasting, and there's my shorts for all you crazy people that got all these stories like I might be, who knows, just crazy. So at the end of the day, here we go. We got one speaker left, and it's going to be epic. Sean, are you anywhere to be found? Did we lose you? That's
he's
okay.
Back on the phone, and he's a co-host. He can unmute.
Okay, that's all right. So we got Kelsey Britton, and if there's anybody, her and her sweet husband and her parents that have just been unbelievable, just ambassadors for that entire line of theirs. And now they've got that new vegan shake. They got that new horse. They're doing that big event that Denise is going to be one of the keynotes on down in Oklahoma City. These people have bled longevity. I mean, at a level we cannot believe. But there's some groundbreaking news. It came across in the few comments, but we've got a little birthday party, and even Jake's excited about it, because you know what we know in longevity? We know how to dance. Denise. Unmute Denise.
What? You want me to do a dance?
Where's the
I did
birthday?
not plan that. Woo-hoo-hoo. Happy birthday, Kelsey.
Did you get the birthday song out?
Oh, no. Oh, God, sorry, no. Okay.
Here's I am
I wish that happy birthday. I didn't know what you wanted.
I said I wanted you to go do it like the dance party in the private message, and you said, okay, so Pamela Schwartz, where are you?
I'm right here. I'm right here.
Okay, Pamela?
Yes, sir.
Last time.
Thank goodness we have talent.
Everybody but you. And
What do you need?
You sing happy birthday like you know how to sing it.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Kelsey. Happy birthday to you.
Okay, I want to have the dance party, and I because I'm multitasking.
So much better. So much better.
Yeah, that I take full responsibility. I sent her like 2 lines, like we got to do the happy birthday song, and she didn't understand I wanted to do it like the dance party. And you can tell she's taking care of Jake. And Marianne, you bring tears to my eyes. I mean, you and I, when I met Marianne, she was completely hustling in those days. She was doing credit card processing, and she walked in my office, and she was basically stealing my coffee, stealing my internet, stealing a desk, playing like she was working on longevity, hustling like crazy. And it was so cute. And she just evolved. And all of a sudden, I'm in the office, and Denise is there, and Marianne is doing something. I go, Marianne, give me a cup of coffee and scratch my back and and Denise goes, how much are you paying her? I go, I'm not paying her. She should be paying me. And Denise said, this ends right now. So Denise went and had a conversation with Marianne and actually got her out of that terrible job, working with us every day. Then she hired James, and I mean, she's just done an unbelievable job. We could not live a day of our life without her. So I don't say that very often because she'll just want to raise, but she is an unbelievable woman. Next speaker.
She's put up with Tom, which, let's face it, like we've had assistants, they've only lasted for like 4 weeks sometimes, so.
So here we go with Kelsey Britton. I'm telling you, talk about somebody embracing the network marketing model. So her parents have been doing this forever, but she realized they were just like Tom Chenault. They were dinosaurs. She just figured out Facebook groups, Instagram stories, social media, all that jazz, dancing, 3 beautiful daughters, an incredible husband, unbelievable parents, horses. And she says, you know what? We're going to figure out a way to make a living at this, come heck or high water. And I am telling you, it is my honor, and I'm not kidding you. It is my honor to introduce you to Kelsey Britton. Close us out here, Kelsey. Take it away.
Woohoo!
Wow.
Hi, everyone.
Happy birthday.
Can you guys hear me okay? Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for that introduction. And thank you, Pamela, for singing for me. I was speaking of Instagram stories. I was trying to get my phone to where I could put it in my Instagram story, and you just sang so quickly. And I wasn't going to ask you to do it again, but thank you so much. You guys are so sweet. I kind of feel a little silly going after all of that because you guys have gotten so many great nuggets. But I want to talk about social media because that is something that I had to implement, because when we first got started, like Tom said, we're actually coming up on our 5-year anniversary in 4 days. So we'll be with Longevity for 5 years. On May 6th, which is super exciting. Our youngest, she's 5, and she's our little longevity baby. She's never known, not taking the products, or she's never been to a daycare. I've always been able to stay home with her because of this opportunity. So yeah, 5 years, and about 2 or maybe 3 years ago is whenever I still had a job. And what really pushed our business to the next level was being able to have a social media strategy and have social media working for us over here behind the scenes while I was still, working my full-time job, and then being a full-time mom and going to soccer practice and gymnastics and all of those things, right? So I needed something that could work for me while I was busy doing all of the things. So I kind of dove in, right? I started Googling, I started researching, I became like a student to social media, and business started to take off. People were messaging us and they were commenting, and we've attracted a lot of our team by something that happened on social media. And so now that's what I train like a lot of different people about social media, because that's what helped us. And I know it's something that a lot of people are intimidated by, right? Like they hear Instagram or TikTok or YouTube or Facebook, and they're just like, ooh, no, I'm just going to call people, which is great. You still need to call people. I'm not saying that. But social media can be that tool where you can add more people to your calling list, okay? So yeah, and I'm going to mess with my hair a lot because unlike Marianne, I have not gotten my hair cut yet since Corona, so it's a little long and in my face, so I apologize for that. But why social media? Obviously, you guys know my story. It needed to work for us in the background. My husband and I both had great full-time jobs, still living paycheck to paycheck. That's why we joined Longevity. We actually didn't come over with the Stay Natural brand that my parents started and brought over to Longevity. We were like, you guys have fun, go do that. We're good. We're going to go out. Like, y'all are being acquired. We're good. We're just going to do our full-time jobs and be like normal people. And we got this, right? And then a few months later, is whenever our oldest daughter, who's now 9, she was 4 then, she wanted to start doing gymnastics and dance, and that was really expensive. And we had really great full-time jobs, but we were still living paycheck to paycheck. And so when she came to us and said, I want to do gymnastics, we were like, oh, well, that's not in our budget. And we don't want to be the parents that are like, sorry, honey, like you can't do that. Can you pick a free extracurricular activity? But we didn't do that. And so we went to my parents, we're like, we need to make money, just even an extra $200 would be great. Okay. And so they signed us up. They told us what we needed to do. I'm a very much a bullet point type person. I didn't need all of the details. They said, go sign up 12 people and you'll get what we call a car bonus. And I'm like, on it. Like, don't tell me anymore. And I was horrible, and I learned as I went, and I was horrible at social media, and all of that shows up in my Facebook memories, you know, every day from 5 years ago. There's all these terrible posts, which I'm going to help you guys avoid from making those terrible posts, okay? But anyway, 2 years later, I was able to retire from my full-time graphic design job. I've been staying at home with my kids ever since. I love it, right? Love it so much. Since Corona, it's been a little crazy. Still love it. Just want to put that out there, but it's also been a little crazy. But yeah, so that's why I want to talk about social media, because that's where you are, right? How many of you guys checked your Facebook this morning when you woke up? How many of your friends did, right? How many of you have been on Facebook at least once a day this week, or multiple times a day, or all day, right? Because we're all staying at home and we don't have anything else to do. So you might as well be building your business, right? You might as well be getting those cute green checks from Longevity, because you're on Facebook, your people are on Facebook, and I want to teach you guys how to sell and build your team from Facebook, okay? So everyone's gonna get a free super fast social media strategy today, because I know I'm the last speaker. I know y'all are getting hungry. I'm in Oklahoma. It is almost 2 o'clock. I've had a lot of coffee. That's why I'm talking really fast. Haven't had lunch yet. I know y'all are getting hungry, so I'm gonna go fast. This is recorded. You can rewatch it. I'll also post some notes later for Marianne or Tom or Denise to share as a follow-up. Okay, so number one, I want you to think about your Facebook profile as your life's magazine. That's what was told to me. You know, if you were creating a magazine for your life, what would be in it? You know, what would you want readers to know about you? What would be in it? So for me, obviously it's going to be mom life type stuff. Anything to do with my kids would be in there. We travel a lot. That would be in there before COVID, obviously. We try to do non-toxic products, so that kind of stuff would be in there. Healthy recipes, you know, all that kind of stuff is what would be in our magazine. And that's really what we post on social media. Now, I know that in Longevity, you have all of these different categories of products, which is amazing, and is part of the reason why we all have such success in the business side of it, is because you're not limited to one product category, right? We're not just a makeup company. We're not just a nails company. We're not just a nutrition company. We have all of these things, right? So everyone that you come in contact with, you know, could end up buying one of the many things that we offer. But your Facebook profile does not need to do that, okay? You need to narrow it down because you're building yourself and you're building your magazine. And last time I checked, I don't go through a magazine and see, you know, cleaning ideas and pet products and hemp and the benefits of CBD and, you know, business services and payment processing. And you know what I'm saying? Like, you have all of these things that you can offer, but you want to zoom in and narrow it down whenever you're talking about your Facebook profile, your quote unquote magazine. Does that make sense? If that doesn't make sense, just put something in the chat and I'll try to go back over it. But basically, with that being said, you're just wanting to build your brand, okay? Your brand is not the same as my brand, even though we're in the same company, right? Even though we are working off of the same compensation plan, we're not the same. The things that I'm going to post about aren't necessarily the things that you're going to post about. Does that make sense? You know, I might post about watermelon sprinkles and vitamins for little kids, and, you know, kids actually taking them and not gagging or like crying every time it's vitamin time, right? But if you're not a young mom who is experiencing that every single day, you're not going to post that because you're not living it. That's not you. You know, that's not your brand. So I hope that makes sense. Please put "make sense" in the chat if I'm making sense, because again, a lot of coffee and I'm trying to go fast. Okay, so we're going to keep going. So a little bit of homework. I want you to jot down 5 to 6 categories that your magazine would be, right? So travel, family, nutrition, non-toxic products, healthy recipes, things like that. Out of those 5 to 6 categories, only 2 to 3 should be longevity related. Because when you are in a magazine, how many ads, right? Like there's stories and pictures and value in a magazine. It's not an ad on every single page. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. So you want to jot down your 5 to 6 categories, what you're going to go with. You know, ours is really like lifestyle, home and family. We kind of live in that realm because it's easier for us to post that kind of stuff because we are using the taco spice every Tuesday, or, you know, we are drinking the coffee, or I am washing my face, or the kids are taking vitamins, or I'm cleaning up after their disgusting messes, right? Like that's where we live. That's what I'm doing every single day anyway. So it just makes sense that I would post about it on social media. But we're also gardening and homeschooling now, thanks to COVID, and, you know, all of these other things. So that's part of our magazine. So I hope that makes sense. Only 2 to 3 should be YGY related. Also on your Facebook profile, keep it positive, okay? I know since this whole thing broke out, it's easy to be negative and it's easy to get caught up in politics and rants and conspiracy theories. I know, I've done it too, okay? But just keep it positive, right? You're using your Facebook profile for your business. Now, if you're not going to, just ignore everything that I'm saying and leave the Zoom right now. Bye, see you later, right? Like this is just for if you're gonna use your Facebook profile for your business. Now, some of you might be saying, well, I want to be in a group, or, you know, I want to make a Facebook group, or I want to have a Facebook business page. Let me tell you, if you are not using your Facebook profile correctly, you will not have anybody to put into a Facebook group or have anybody to like your Facebook business page, okay? It starts here and it goes that way, okay? So Facebook personal profile is key first. So be positive. Don't post bad pictures unless you're doing it on purpose. And what I mean by that is the only time I've ever posted a bad picture is if I was working out and like totally dying and told my audience how much I was dying. I think my mom's on here. I think I've shared this story before. So I started running for the 5K for convention, not this summer. I'm going to start that tomorrow, probably. But like a couple of 5Ks ago, I started training at our local park, and my mom called, and of course I have my headphones in, so I just like answered it, you know, it's Bluetooth. Obviously, I was out of breath. I didn't think I sounded that bad. And okay, I take that back. I was dying. I was literally dying. It was so hot in Oklahoma that day. I really wasn't very good at running. And my mom calls, and you know what she said? Are you vacuuming? And I'm like, what? Like, I just ran, I don't know, you know, maybe half a mile, full mile, and you're asking if I'm vacuuming my house? Like, what? Like, do I sound the same when I vacuum? And so I took a picture and I posted it. I looked terrible, right? It was a bad picture, but it was funny, right? It showed that I'm not good at working out, and probably half my audience isn't either, right? So only post bad pictures if you're being intentional. So many times I see a product picture from somebody in longevity, and there's like dirty laundry in the background, or like trash, or like, you know, your McDonald's sack is right behind your BTT. Like, don't do that, okay? Like, be intentional. You want to have people like your stuff to start that conversation, so don't post bad pictures. Okay, now I got a screen share, and I'm never very good at this. Let's see. What do I do? There we go. Catch my breath a little bit.
Very cool.
Well, I sound like I'm vacuuming right now.
Take your time.
Okay, so can you guys see this? It's good. Okay. Yeah. No, go back. Sorry. There we go. Okay, so this is the Facebook funnel, and this is kind of just like my system. You know, you start with a post on your Facebook profile. I already went through the slides on accident, so you can see what's coming. But first, you're going to post on your profile, and I'm going to show you guys some ideas and things that have worked for us with new customers, with new team members. So first, you post on your profile. Second, you're going to take whoever comments on there saying that they want information, you're going to take that to a Facebook Messenger conversation. And I say conversation because that's what it is. You are not sending them a link just because they commented on your cleaning post or something. You know, you're starting a conversation. You know, have you used anything? If someone's wanting to lose weight, for example, let's use that. So I posted before and after on my profile. I asked people to comment. They say, send me info. I shoot them a message on Facebook Messenger. Hey girl, thanks for that. I'm feeling great. You know, why are you wanting info? Are you wanting to lose weight too? Actually, rewind. With weight loss only, I always say, do you know someone who's wanting to lose weight? Because I've gotten in trouble before because I asked and it wasn't someone that was wanting to lose weight. They were asking for their husband, and then it just got into a really awkward conversation, and that did not result in a sale. So with weight loss, you want to ask if they know someone, even if you think it's them. Okay, so you take it to a Facebook Messenger conversation. You know, have that conversation, find out why they commented, find out what's going on. Then the next step, number 3, you're either going to send them a tool like a video, or you are going to get them in touch with your upline at that point. It could be for anything. Okay, so this is just the system. Number 4, after that, it's either a sale or you're going to add them to a Facebook group. If you don't have a Facebook group that you can add them to, just ignore that for right now. We'll talk about it later. But for weight loss, for example, we have one with our team. So if something happens and they don't want to buy the Rev 90 pack, where they're like, yeah, you know, I saw your results and it looks like it works and it looks like it's working for, you know, your friend, but I just don't know if it's going to work for me. All I would say is that's no problem. Let me add you to our weight loss group. We're always sharing recipes and workouts. You know, I know you'll get a lot of value in that group, even if you don't buy the product, right? And then they'll say, yeah, okay, great. Send me the link. And so I will invite them to our Facebook group. What always happens is they get added. Then they see everyone else's before and afters, and then they message me almost the same day, if not the next one, and they're like, go ahead, you know, here's my credit card. Because it acts as a third party. So if you don't get the sale, then you're going to add them to a Facebook group. You could have a cleaning Facebook group. You could have and this is just for customers, not for team building. You could have a weight loss Facebook group. You could have a you know, non-toxic Facebook group, beauty, all those things, right? Yes, Karen, do not claim anything, and I do not. I'm glad you said that. Honestly, if you're leaving enough mystery in your post, you will not claim anything. So we're going to get to that in a second. Number 5, so sale, Facebook group. So then your next step is asking them for a referral or asking them to post for you, which is a money maker, because you can always do things like, you know, with Reveal, for example, from Bennu. If someone wants it, but all of a sudden they're like, I can't afford it, you know, you could give them a little bit of a discount if they post your before and after on their profile and direct you to a different circle of people. So that's kind of my Facebook funnel. That's the gist of it. The first time you know, post on the first time you go through this, it's going to be a little awkward. But after that, you'll do it so many times. It's like a muscle, a hustle muscle. Okay, so let's brainstorm some content. And then I'm going to show you guys some of the content that we've used that has resulted in a ton of sales and new team members. So adding value, of course, you want to add value. No one wants to follow you on Facebook if you are just like the Vanna White from Wheel of Fortune, just like holding up your product, which I'm screen sharing right now. I'm totally doing it with my hands, but no one wants to see that. They also don't want to come to your profile because you're like QVC or something. Like, they don't want a commercial. So you want to add value to their lives. Your Facebook profile, your magazine needs to add value. Why does someone buy a magazine? Because they're going to get something out of reading it, correct? So same thing goes for your Facebook profile. Adding value equals trust, and trust equals sales. So how can you add value within your brand. Like I said earlier, you're going to pick a couple of longevity categories to really brand yourself with. Are you going to, like with us, we don't post about the pet products. And this is just an example. We don't post about the pet products. We have a dog. We use the pet products. If one of my friends is asking, you know, if there's a flea and tick spray, a natural flea and tick spray, of course, we're going to talk to them and sell them one. But it's not something that we're posting all the time on our Facebook profile. So I hope that makes sense. It's not part of our brand. Another thing that you want to think about when you are posting or coming up with content is what are common struggles your audience may face. So this goes back to who your audience is, who your brand is. My audience is mainly young families, right? With kids that are younger. So I'm not going to talk a lot about common struggles that are for people over 80 years old, right? Like that wouldn't fit my audience. So think about that. And then also whenever you're brainstorming your content, if you don't listen to anything I've said so far or anything I say after this point, just stick with this right here. And it's called, seriously, I messed it up on my slide. It's called WIFT, not WIT. It's WIFT, and it stands for what's in it for them. Let me type that in the chats or someone do that because obviously I messed that up there. Sorry about that. But it's what's in it for them. Anytime you are posting something, you need to think what's in it for the person that's looking at it, right? Of course, I can talk about how much I love you know, the TMR shake and how it does this for me and this for me and this for me. But if it's not going to benefit anyone that's looking at the post, I'm not going to sell a dang thing. And honestly, people are going to be like, who cares, Kelsey? Like, we love you, but we really don't need to know what your shake did for you today, right? Like, what is it going to do for me? So when you're posting and coming up with content, keep that in mind. What is it going to do for the person that's looking at it, reading it? Back when we were doing the Better Health Challenge with the Rev 90 plan, you know, weight loss, it's such a personal thing, but numbers may vary, right? Like my starting number for weight might be someone's goal weight, right? So you want to try to stay away from that. You want to focus on what's in it for them. It's better to talk about how, you know, you don't have to dance to put your jeans on anymore, right? Because the person that's reading that post can relate to that, right? Women on this Zoom, like we can relate to that. We know exactly what you're talking about. So you want to focus on what's in it for the person that's reading it. The 3 E's, this is also helpful for coming up with content. You should either be educating someone, so you're providing great information to your audience, followers, friends. Provide great information, but don't throw up information on people. Number 2, you need to entertain, make them laugh and feel better, especially right now with all the doom and gloom, right? You're going to stand out if you are positive all the time. Number 3, engage. Don't forget to connect and interact. This says members, that's with a Facebook group, but you know, if someone comments on your post, keep the conversation going. If someone, you know, likes something or shares something, like talk to them, right? Don't forget to engage. Okay, so here's some of my successful posts. Take a drink of water. So these are all cleaning, obviously. Again, that's something that I do almost every day because my kids are disgusting and these pictures are proof. But the one on the left is, it was more of like a team builder post. And that day I was talking to 10 moms about joining the team because why? They clean their house and they want to get paid, right? And I left mystery. Do you clean your house? Wouldn't it be nice if you were paid? Guess what? That happens. Cleaning your house and getting a check is way more fun. So there's one, the before and after of the air revitalizer was great. I didn't talk about
We lost you, Kelsey.
She froze out. That's frightening.
Perfect freeze though. Usually I'm like,
Look at that screen too, man.
I know. She's like, perfect.
Do we have one of those things?
What?
The revitalizer. Yes.
Because Denise is, who knows? All right, well, we don't know what we're going to do there. Something must have gone wrong. Okay, so here's the deal. If she comes back, we'll finish it up with her. If not, guess what? This was unbelievable again. We were 17 minutes over instead of 2 hours. That's pretty exciting. And next week, we got Dr. Wallach, Ben Fuchs, all these guys. So you got to start building toward that.